What is the five fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
Hey, what's up? Good morning. As I record this, my son is sleeping right next to me, and I am waking his butt up. And he's not going to be happy. He's not. It's morning where I'm at right now. Okay. Hope you guys are having a great day. A lot to get to. I got a lot of awesome stuff coming your way. In fact, some exclusive audio in regards to a big story. I can't wait to get into that. But hey, it's DeHuff Uncensored. Hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Don't forget today's show is presented to you by High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge, and of course, Bet Online. In fact, Bet Online is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. Whether it's baseball, golf, soccer, right up to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and of course, boxing. They got every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. And when the game's over, head on over to their online casino, get in on the game of blackjack, poker, or even unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Head to betonline.ag today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet Online, the game starts here. Before we get into headlines, I got to bring this up because it's this weird thing that's happening in our society. I saw a Cybertruck in real life. It's so much weirder in person. I got to be honest. I like the wheels. The wheels look cool. That's about it. I'm not a huge car guy, but my wife and I were at the Orchard up in Westminster here, and we're walking around, and as we're headed back to the parking lot, we see a Cybertruck just parked there. Yeah, I took a picture with it, just whatever, just to say I did, and mostly to send to my kids. But the closer you get to it, the goofier it looks, and just more, it's like, why? Why would you want that? And it's funny because I told you my wife took a picture of me by the Cybertruck, and this older lady comes over there next to me, and she's like, "So is this your like dream car?" I was like, "No, not at all." She's like, "Good, because they're piles of shit." I'm like, "What?" This lady's like in her 70s or something like that, and we just all start laughing. It doesn't look good. If you drive one, hey, if you like it, you like it. As one listener wrote on Twitter, and I apologize, I can't remember your name. I don't have it pulled up. That's an $80,000 mistake. That's what that is. I just couldn't imagine driving it. And there's so many recalls on it. Why the hell would you want to drive it? Oh my God. I mean, it's more of a status thing, but sadly at this point in its history as a vehicle, the Cybertruck is more of a label of what people like to say is there's the village idiot. I know if that pisses you off if you own one, but that's kind of what everybody looks at you as, like, oh my God, he has one or she has one. Most likely it's a he. Okay. I think the ladies are smart enough to go, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. Don't need it. It's the new age, like, Corvette. You're going through a midlife crisis. What do I need to buy? I got, gray hair everywhere. My wife doesn't look at me anymore. My kids don't respect me. I'm going to get a Cybertruck. It used to be like a Corvette or a Ferrari or something like that. Now it's a Cybertruck. There you go. We all learned something again today. You know what we need to do? Jump into some headlines.
Let's go! Let's go! And now, here are the headlines.
This is crazy, and I guess I would expect this to happen more often because this thing is so huge. There was a Wienermobile crash. They have like, how many do they have? They have like 6 or 8 of those Wienermobiles across the United States, and they're always driving around. Well, apparently in Illinois, just outside of Chicago, all right. The crash occurred right around 11 o'clock in the morning on a highway in Cook County. And the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile in a Hyundai sedan. Those goddamn Hyundai sedans. They were traveling north. The Wienermobile struck the sedan, lost control, overcorrected, and rolled onto the Hyundai's side. That's according to police. So that I've never driven next to the Wienermobile. Is that kind of? I'm wondering if that's kind of intimidating. I'm wondering maybe it was like a National Lampoon's type situation. Maybe it was the person driving the Wienermobile. Maybe they were slowly eating a wiener, and the people in the Hyundai were like, "Oh my god!" And they start swerving. Next thing you know, the Wienermobile starts swerving. Bing bang boom. Wienermobile's flipping and flopping everywhere. That's got to be it. I'm wondering though if it is kind of an intimidating thing. It's like 20 feet long, something like that. And now if you're the hot dogger, that's the person that drives the Wienermobile, you're gonna get fired from that job. No matter what, you're fired, right? If you crash the Wienermobile, you don't get to drive the Wienermobile anymore. Then you got to come home in shame. You weren't supposed to be back for another month driving that Wienermobile around. Well, I got fired from my job as a hot dogger driving the Wienermobile. And then your whole family looks at you in shame. They don't even invite you to the family barbecue because one, they're disappointed in you, and two, they're afraid that you're going to see all those wieners on the on the grill, and it's going to send you into like some relapse. So how sad is that to get fired as the Wienermobile driver? We talked to you guys last week about the Elton John urinating in a store. I guess it was a shoe store. They didn't say till recently. He had to use the restroom. He got security, get him a bottle. He peed in the bottle, peed all over the floor as well. Blah 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 blah. Nothing happened. Well, now there's starting to be copycats at that store where Elton John urinated. What a weird thing to say. So what according to the owner, some of the follow-up urine instances were told to have taken place. One person peed in a bottle inside the store, just like Elton himself did, while another took a leak on the store's front steps, which, according to TMZ, says the owner is sure was a streaming ode to Elton John. I don't understand why you would think that that'd be a great thing to do. Oh, Elton John peed over here. I gotta pee too. I just, that's, what a dumb thing to get in trouble for. I hope they catch whoever is peeing at this shoe store because it's hurting this guy's business too. If you go to the shoe store, buy some fucking shoes. Don't pee in a bottle and don't pee on the front steps. These are things we shouldn't have to tell society. But here we are. Here we are, folks. Don't pee like Elton John pees. My God, I'd be pissed. Could you imagine I'm just here trying to sell shoes and motherfuckers rolling up trying to pee in a bottle or peeing on the doorsteps. My God. I just want to sell shoes. Mama, I just want to sell shoes. This is a viral video going around. It's of a tourist collapsing after she was bitten by the King's Guard horse while taking a photo. The King's lifeguard is conducted by soldiers of the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment at Horses Guard. You see those. You see the guards that, people try to make laugh. And then you also have those same type of guards, but they're on horseback, right? And this lady slides up real quick next to the horse to try to get a picture. Meanwhile, she slides in front of a sign that says, "Beware, horses may kick or bite." And it's underlined, or bite, because sounds like that's a big problem. And it says, "Don't touch the reins. Thank you." So she gets bit. She ends up passing out. This is her fault. She moved too fast. In fact, I was telling you I have exclusive audio. Nobody else has this. I actually, via Skype, it was actually, Zoom. Via Zoom, I interviewed the horse. This is, I'll just play a snippet of my interview. Oi, that crazy cunt came out of nowhere. I was scared for me life. See, I once was blindsided by a stubby fellow wearing a turtleneck and sporting a Yosemite Sam mustache. That shaggy wannabe couldn't stop talking about all the sights he had been seeing in old London town. The bloke talked to me till my ears bled. So you can wrap your mind around my mental status. Her fault, not mine. Read the sign. Oh, wow. Nobody else has that audio. For good reason. For good reason. Yeah, it's the lady's fault, not anybody else's. By the way, if you watch The Boys, that was my attempt at Billy Butcher. But not done very well. Yeah, so if you see a sign that says horses may bite and they have it underlined, good chance don't go sliding right next to it. Because that thing took a big old chomp on her arm. Couldn't have felt good at all. My God. That's her fault, though. Her fault. If you see the video, you know what I'm talking about. And what's funny is, like, she gets rushed over to the side, and there's people already moving on. They don't give a shit about her. They're like, I want to get my picture with the horse. The biting horse. I'd be pissed. Now she has a story, though. Right? When you go travel, isn't that what you want? Is to come back with a good story. Now she has a good story. She got bit by a fucking Kingsguard horse. Now, it would have been better if it would have been the Kingsguard himself that bit her. Or he just jumps down and starts biting her too. Be like, what the fuck? Who bites? What are we, 2? Jeez. Yeah, you watch the video. It's like, come on. Hey, real quick, High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge is the first and only licensed canna bar in the state of Colorado. It's really cool when you go in there. It works like an alcohol bar, but it's for cannabis. So head on over and buy and consume on site. Purchase up to an ounce of flour, 8 grams of concentrate. You can get pre-rolls, you can get edibles, and you can consume what you like and then take the rest home. And what's cool is when you're there, they provide everything you need to consume it with. And when you're there hanging out, enjoying the products, they got 7 big screen TVs. And you can watch all your favorite sporting events. The Olympics, they're right around the corner. Like any day now, they're going to start. How cool would that be to just chill out, get your head in the right mood, and just zone out and watch some Olympics? They also got Nintendo Switches available to rent, tons of free board games. They got coloring books, playing cards, dominoes, all that cool stuff. Plus a quarter arcade with pinball machines. They got vintage Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and more. High Society has a ton of events going on as well. Every first and third Friday of the month, they got comedy shows. They got live music as well. Open mic nights, drag bingo, craft nights, puff and paints, game nights. Twice a week, they do Texas Hold'em games and plenty more. You got to check them out. They're open daily from noon to 10. Happy hour runs from noon to 4:20 Monday through Friday. Tuesdays is industry day. Anyone with an employee badge gets 15% off all day. Thursdays is ladies' day, and ladies get 20% off all day. Hey, have to do it. High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge. It's just 9 minutes from Coors Field. It's open from noon to 10. Got to be at least 21 or older to consume. No outside product. Just buy it there. High Society's at 7667 Washington Street. Just GPS to High Society. As of yet, my son is yet to come out and yell at me or give me a dirty look or shake his fist at me like, you son of a gun. Because hopefully he fell back asleep. And I'm just white noise in the background. And what kind of white noise would this be? Damaging white noise. This is kind of cool. And it happened, in my state / Utah. Stegosaurus fossil was found near the Utah-Colorado border, and it went for $45 million at auction. That's pretty dang cool. And I want to say it was found right near the town of Dinosaur, Colorado, which is kind of neat as well. I find that stuff fascinating. There was I don't think it was a straight up Triceratops, but kind of in that family, uh, found like 2 miles away in, I think it's technically Brighton, just up the road, right near the Walmart that I shop at. And it's really neat that they found that there. Now I believe those bones are at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. I think that's where it's at now. Still getting cleaned up, if not just put on display. But it's really neat. You kind of forget about that stuff, and then all of a sudden somebody makes some headlines with either discovering some fossils, or uh, or they're going for high dollar at auction. But that being said, it's a private buyer. What are you going to do with this other than loan it out every now and then to museums? I guess it would be kind of cool. My wife and I were watching Last Man on Earth. We're trying to get the kids into watching it too. Hilarious, with Will Forte. And he goes around because everybody's dead, for that he's assuming everybody's dead. And he drives around the country. They don't really show this part, but they show the end result of, basically, he goes around and just takes a bunch of cool stuff, puts it in his motorhome, and then whenever he hunkers down for an actual home, he has those things on display. And one of the things was he had like this giant T-Rex skull on his dinner table. It's like, and at first I'm like, why would you want that? But then it's like, why wouldn't you want that? If you have $45 million to just poop away, why not, I guess? And it's probably, you could probably get some good publicity for yourself and your company if you have that attached to it at a museum, if it's on display, if you're letting them display it for several months or whatever. I guess that's the way you could look at it. But that would be kind of cool. Somebody comes into your house and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" "Oh, that's just a, pterodactyl skeleton that I have hanging from from my, ceiling." I would suggest, if you have a vaulted ceiling doing this, your ceilings are only 8 feet high. Could you imagine? Keep ducking. Watch out, that pterodactyl. Those bones will get you. They'll get you right in the eyeball. They will. I'm a big follower of rules, and it bugs me when I see people break the rules, especially ones where you're like, there's a really good reason for those rules. One example is, like, you don't run at a pool, or, and we'll stick to the pool thing. Yeah, don't dive into the pool if it's shallow, because you're going to crack your neck and then you're going to be paralyzed the rest of your life. Well, another one is no glass containers at a pool. And the reason why I bring this up is a shattered salsa jar at a pool in Massachusetts caused $20,000 in damages. Don't bring the fucking glass containers to a pool. I see that shit all the time. It also pisses me off at our pool, where you got these dickheads that are like, I got a bunch of friends in the other neighborhood that aren't allowed in this pool, even though we pay for the fees to keep it maintained. So these dickheads are like, I got a friend and her family and then their family. I'm just going to prop open the door so they could come in. And then they fucking ruined the fucking pool and leave their trash everywhere. It's fucking annoying to me, okay? Okay? I get irritated by that shit. You're not invited. You're not part of the elite club. You're not paying the dues. We are. Come in here with your, I don't know, pizza parties and whatnot. I hate that crap. At least if you're going to be in the pool, against the rules, follow the other rules and be respectful of everything. God, we have so many damaged sun chairs and stuff like that there that we're going to end up paying for, not the dickheads that don't belong there. That's my problem. I hate people. Yeah, yeah. Uh, I saw these online. Dragonflies can inhale water through a long tube at the tip of their anus and save it. Later, if they need to, they can shoot the water out of their anus to make them fly faster. That is freaking cool. And I want to see a superhero that is like the dragonfly. They better use that. Come on. If they don't, it's just not authentic. It's not believable, right? In a superhero world, that a dragonfly superhero doesn't squirt water out of their butt to make them go faster. Oh, they're gaining on us. Hold on. Are you peeing at your butt? Yeah, I am. Okay, just wondering. Just wondering. That would be funny. It'd be funny too because, like, let's say that there was like a movie or a TV show where it was the dragonfly character. At first, people would be offended by it. They'd be like, "Oh, that's disgusting. That's so unnecessary." Yeah, it's fine. It's fine because it's more truthful than anything. Okay, squirting water out of their back end. And let's be honest, if I could do that as a human, that would be fantastic. Running along, make it to the Olympics. Like, it's that final stretch. They're like, will the Huff do it? Can he make it? He's got to defend his championship. And wow, he shoots water out of his butt. And that shoots him across the finish line. He wins. He wins with a nice anal juicing. Oh, gross. In Oklahoma, it's illegal to get a bear drunk and then wrestle it. Well, that's no fun. God, no fun, police, over there in Oklahoma. What a dumb fucking rule. But it makes you wonder that they probably had to set that up because it happened at least once. You're like, that there's Jameson over there. He really likes to get bears drunk and then wrestle them at the bar. Oh, God. I tried to tell him to do it in the parking lot. He did that, but next thing you know, he's damaging people's vehicles. Fucking Jameson, son of a bitch. My God, that's fucking weird. I wouldn't wrestle a bear. Although you see that in like in Russia. Like they're like drunk and then they're just drinking their vodka or whatever. They're like, no, let's wrestle bear. Come here, bear. I will wrestle you. I've had 10 pints of vodka. And then they wrestle. They're like giving the bear a noogie. They're like, look at me. I got you. You cannot go anywhere. You're under my control. It's like, oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Real quick, let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Seth. Seth said, the NFL is looking to add an 18th game to the schedule. Do you think that's a good idea? I think it's bad for the players because that's going to wear them out. They're already now doing 17 games. But the 18th game would make it nice and clean, nice and even, right? But I think it would be bad for the players because that's more wear and tear on their bodies. I think it's great for us fans. One more game? Heck yeah. Well, one more game stretched across the league? Yes, that's very good. And it's really good for the NFL. That's more money in their pockets. And with that being said, I think at the end of the day, it might not happen obviously not this season, but the following season. I see it happening within like 5 years. And it might happen after this season. It might be next season. Who knows? I think you're gonna hear a lot of pushback from players. You're gonna hear a lot of pushback from former players, the guys that have retired and are beat to snot and can hardly stand, hardly move their bodies. they're going to be the ones saying, guys, this is not good for you. But it depends how much the NFL and the NFLPA are looking at it financially. If you get an extra game, does that modify people's schedules? And that's more money in your pocket potentially as a player. So as bad as it might be for you physically and potentially mentally, are you going to look at it from the financial perspective and go, shit, what's one more game? Because, I mean, it's going to put this extra chunk of change in my pocket, which I could use for this, and this. I like it as a fan. And I'm going to say something that's probably not very nice, but I look at it as just fucking entertain me. I know that sounds jacked up, but it's like, you're offering me more football? Sure. That's my favorite sport to watch. That being said, if rugby was on TV more often, I would watch rugby a lot. I love watching rugby. But it's not. And the NFL, when the NFL's on, I want to watch that. And if you're telling me there's going to be more games to watch, sure. And that's potentially one more game for my favorite team, the Denver Broncos, to potentially advance into the playoffs. I like that. It's not good for the players because you look at them as they're just cogs in the wheel of the NFL. They're very important. You don't have good cogs, you don't have a good product. But the thing is, with those cogs, they're very replaceable. And it's not like there's not like a big stockpile of guys that want to take somebody else's job. Somebody gets hurt, fine, next man up. Which, from a fan's perspective, okay, it's not cool. It's treating them like they're just pieces, miscellaneous items out there. But that's the way I'm looking at it as a fan. As a human being, I look at it and go, why would you guys do that? Why? Why would you even consider it? They're already battered and bruised and so damaged by the end of a season. Most of the players, why would you add another game into that other than for financial gain? Which I get that from a business perspective. If you have an opportunity to make more money, why the fuck not? So that's where I'm like, I think it's kind of jacked up. But that being said, at the end of the day, I want more football. Also, don't really care. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I want to see more football. And it makes sense for the NFL to add another game. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, Seth. Thanks for chiming in. If you want to participate in the show, I love it when you guys do this. It's so cool. You can follow me on social media at DeHuff Podcast. And that's whether that's Twitter, X, whatever, Facebook, Instagram. I'm even on Twitch, which I think I got like one follower now. But also on TikTok and stuff like that. If you want to interact with me, please do so at DeHuff Podcast. You can always hit me up on email, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. Always love hearing from you, like I just heard from Seth. A lot going on with that thing, that question about the NFL. I know they're supposed to be meeting about that, and they're saying that the discussions are very high level. I imagine it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It just makes sense. It makes sense for you're making the fans happy, and you're making the owners and everybody in the NFL financially happy. And I think eventually the players will bend to it. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. Hey, next time you're in London in the UK, if you're next to a sign that says, "Hey, beware, horses may kick or bite," don't go jumping up on that thing. Like, oh, I don't know why it bit me. There's a giant fucking sign right where you were at. It's in the video. Don't do that. Also, don't bring glass containers to a pool because nobody likes you when you do that. And when you're at a pool, follow the fucking rules. Don't be a dick. Jeez. Anyway, and also, if you could have one superpower, wouldn't it not be to become a dragonfly so you can shoot water out of your butt and make you go faster? Mm-hmm. We can all dream. Oh, there's my sunshine. My sunshine Jackson just woke up. My God. My God, buddy. You look rough. You look rough.
I would want that superpower too.
You want that superpower to shoot water out your butt?
Yeah.
Well, keep dreaming, fella. You never know. You never know. With the advancements in science, okay? Maybe you do it. Maybe you do that for school. Make that a project. I damaged you then. He said he was listening to the podcast and not sleeping. Well, you're going to have night terrors now. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining the show. You guys are amazing. Have a fantastic day. Again, if you want to interact with the show, please do so at DeHuff Podcast on social, or you can hit me up on my email, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for making this the #1 comedy podcast. Listen, I listen to morning shows around this state, and I got to be honest, they bore the fuck out of me. Hopefully, some of them are okay. They have glimmers. I hope that I can bring more smiles to your face than those. Okay, it's not going to happen with all of them, but ultimately, I'm out here trying to make everybody smile instead of being so grouchy and try to move past all the negative energy that's around here in this world. So thank you for listening. You guys are amazing. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. Big thanks to High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge, as well as Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. It's DeHuff Uncensored. You guys rock. I love you. You guys, I love you so much in a sexual way, okay? not like, just hi. Just kidding. Or am I? Anyway, you guys have a great day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.